The truth behind the Barclay Goodrow waiver claim has been revealed, and the shocking details may lead fans to believe that the Rangers will absolutely be going for it next season. We're going to break all of that down, but before we do, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 80% of you watching our videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to do yourself a favor, listen, the draft is coming up. Free agency is coming up. It's going to be a crazy time for the Rangers. It sounds like they're going to be very active in free agency. Hit that subscribe button. Do yourself a favor so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. But let's waste no more time. We're going to get right into it. Obviously, yesterday I had a video on the Barclay Goodrow waiver or him being put on waivers. Obviously, at the time that I recorded it, he hadn't been claimed yet, but there was basically a principal deal in place for the San Jose Sharks to claim him. And there's been some interesting, shocking even details that have come out about that. And we'll get into all of it right now. And of course, this is originally from yesterday. This is the first kind of reports that we were seeing. According to a report, Barclay Goodrow may be claimed off waivers at that time. Things were a little unclear before the San Jose Sharks obviously stepped in to claim him. It looked like maybe the Rangers were going to have to buy him out, but obviously there was a deal in place, and we know why. And now Larry Brooks has the scoop after the fact. Chris Drury was pretty ruthless in this, and I have to say I kind of like it to a degree, and we'll get into it. A couple quotes stand out to me, and they were pretty good. But it sounds like Barclay Goodrow had San Jose on his no-trade list, and it sounded like San Jose may have wanted to acquire Barclay Goodrow back in a trade, but obviously, didn't work out for both teams. Almost works out better for San Jose in that way, and obviously the Rangers, they don't have to give up anything. They get free cap space out of it. But it sounds like, there was a deal in place where they said, hey, if you put him on waivers, because he has us on our no trade trade clause, we'll take him. We'll take him off waivers. So there's a little bit of a deal in place. They're pretty interesting. And some more interesting quotes from Brooks. After speaking to multiple sources on Wednesday, there's widespread belief that Barclay Goodrow had included the Sharks on his 15-team no-trade list. It's pretty incredible that he even had a modified no-trade clause, Barclay Goodrow, that is, that GM Chris Drury got around by placing him on waivers. The San Jose Sharks were obviously able to claim him that way, not via trade, so he will have to go to San Jose. This was ruthless, all right? And I kind of like it. I kind of like it personally. I love this quote. This was ruthless, and this is what championship organizations do. We've seen it with the Vegas Golden Knights. Yes, you do want to take care of your players 100%. You want to make sure that they're comfortable and they can do what they do best. But we've seen it with the Vegas Golden Knights when they have an idea of, we want to move on from this player for whatever reason because we absolutely want to win. They are cutthroat. They are ruthless. And that's exactly what championship organizations have been doing in the NHL. And the Rangers are moving a little bit more towards that direction. I think Chris Drury sees the writing on the wall, right? You have a cup window, a very slim one here. Guys are getting older, and the salary cap situation, you have to make a big splash this summer. You need that available $3 million plus to make moves this summer. He moves off of it. I think there's more moves coming, but pretty shocking. To move off of the player for that reason. And again, there's the cap hit situation would have been crazy if they had to buy him out. So the fact that he's able to go to San Jose was a really good thing. The fact that, they claimed him off of waivers. $3.6 million cap hit, like I mentioned, and it was going to be through 26-27. That is terrible. Really, you need that cap space. This is genuinely, all right? And I talked about it in my last video, and a lot of people are now complaining. I say people, but Rangers fans are kind of on the fence, I feel like, both ways, where people are like, oh, he was a great playoff performer. Listen, he had pretty much 3 good games in the playoffs. He scored some big goals. I will give him that. But he was not pretty awful regular season performer, right? Pretty awful. Didn't put up many points at all and played almost every single game of the season. So when you look at that, you can use that roster space and salary for, you can re-sign players with that, right? That money could go to Ryan Lindgren, let's say, for example. And you can do something else with it in free agency, right? So somebody can produce as much as him. I don't know if they can bring exactly what he brings in terms of playoffs and experience, but somebody else can bring the offensive output, at least in the Rangers organization, or they can find it through free agency. That is for sure. So pretty interesting move from the Rangers there. And Obviously, the savings they're getting through this is just, I mean, we went through it. It's awesome. It's awesome for the Rangers, and good for them. And obviously, like I mentioned, for San Jose, they acquire a player who comes with a lot of experience, right? He's going to be able to mentor whoever they pick with the first overall pick. I'll just leave it at that for now. We don't know officially who they're going to pick yet, but and Will Smith there. So they're getting a good player. I have mentioned before, maybe Jacob Trouba's a fit there too, to take some more salary off the Rangers' books, because it looks like they're going to make a splash. I think the fact of the matter is, obviously, Chris Drury, he's in his ruthless kind of time right now, where I'm telling you, he sees the writing on the wall, where he's like, I have to make we have to free up as much salary as we can to get these things done. And don't forget, like, Shesterkin's up for an extension as well, right? Like, the sooner they get that done, the better as well. So lots going on here. We have some more quotes from Larry Brooks as well, which I thought were pretty good. And he said, well, not good in the way that, obviously Barclay Goodrow did not want this to happen. He's not very happy with how it went down. We've been told by several folks that Goodrow, who scored 6 goals in 16 postseason matches after recording 4 in 80 games during the regular season, is not happy about how this went down. I guess I don't blame him. Now, the question is, for me, and anybody watching this, and if you want to comment, let me know. How do you feel about that? Are you really happy that it seems more cutthroat and, ruthless? I think I'm leading towards that side, because I think the Rangers have to make some very difficult decisions if they want to win a Stanley Cup. They were close, but not good enough. You know what I mean? So I think I'm leaning towards that side, but let me know what you think. Like, are you upset that, this player was upset, or are you like, listen, whatever's best for the Rangers? I think it's very interesting, right? Do you want to upset your players and make it so, he may not talk well about the Rangers organization, right? And that could lead other players from not going there or signing there in free agency. But I don't think that's a big issue. They're obviously a contender. They're going to be back, a couple rounds deep next year, hopefully, obviously gunning for a Stanley Cup. So it's pretty interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Pretty interesting situation here, with a lot being revealed after the fact. Obviously, Goodrow did not want to go to San Jose, had them on the no trade clause. Not a very good team, ends up being put on waivers. I mean, Drury got creative with it, and I think that's a good thing. He was a little bit ruthless because he's trying to make his team better. These are all good things. So like I said, let me know in the comments what you thought of that. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. We got the draft coming up. We got free agency coming up. Like I said before, I feel like the Rangers are going to be very active in free agency, and it looks like they're not afraid to free up some cap space. So we will see you in the next video.